I feel like if I had known this for like, I guess Bloodlust would be a good example. I feel like that would have just like been a breeze through.
Hello, welcome to the video. This has been a very difficult thing for me to create because I've attempted to make a video discussing how to improve in GD multiple times. And it's really difficult to like tell you all what I see. So I brought my friend Fidget, explained to him my ideas and my thoughts with my perspective of GD, and it seemed to have changed his perspective. GD is really hard to quote unquote coach someone with because it's 2D. It's not like esports or any other game. It's very plain and simple. But before you watch the video, I want you to give the perspective of this: how you save time and how can you raise your percent chance. Those two concepts and ideas will be explained further in the video, but I want you to know that before you go into it. So thank you for giving this video a chance, and I hope you enjoy. But I want to give you a different viewpoint with GD, and especially as you saying that this is like not your downfall, but like kind of like your worst moment. I hope to break that ice for you then.
Okay. I like the sound of that. Yeah, because
I'm bro. I've literally have like notes open on my right. Like Evan, I've literally been like even talking to you about it. Right? He goes, So yeah, I even been telling my mom, I think I figured it out. Okay, so I'm gonna give you two questions. One, what is the level you're doing right now, and how are you feeling about it? And two, what is your dream level you want to beat? Like, if you had to pick any extreme demon that you think is out of your reach, what is that dream demon that you dream to beat?
Okay, so right now I'm doing artificial ascent.
Okay.
It's not like.
Okay, I can actually help you with that.
Challenge,
thank God.
But it's still kind of up there.
Okay. What is your dream demon?
I'm going Kyuki on that one.
Wow. Honestly, I actually like played that for fun, but I don't have any good progress at all. Like I did some practice runs. Yuck. But it looks consistent and so fun. Kyuki.
I heard that.
Yeah, Fidget heard that. So I'm gonna give you a base. Okay, how many attempts do you have on artificial right now?
If I had to put like a ballpark, I'd say probably around like 5,000-6,000.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay. What's your percentage on it?
I have 49 from 0 and 41 to 100. I have from 0 8,062, but those are like, if I had to put like a guess, like 2,000 of those are from like 5 years ago.
So, do you feel confident in your GD skill? Like, I want you to like, I know this is a hard question maybe, but like I even tell myself this. Are you proud of yourself of the skill that you are right now, or did you think that you'd be better at this point?
I'd say I'm pretty proud. If I had to put a guess out there, I definitely didn't think that I'd have Bloodlust under my belt. You know,
that's a good mindset, because then you feel fortunate to be beating the levels that you are beating. Because yeah, I remember you playing levels. Shoot, what did you like? ACU for fun back then.
Right. Yeah.
And you did do Bloodlust, and I hate that level, honestly, too.
I'll keep it up with you, man. I do too.
Okay, so that's really good. So you have a good mindset. It's just you feel like you have a wall that you honestly don't know how to get over.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you see the game?
That kind of perfectly describes it.
Okay, good. How do you see the game right now? When you like play Artificial Ascent, what do you think? What do you do? Do you just?
I kind of just like. What were you gonna say?
No. Sorry, I'm putting words in your head, and I want you to say it.
Oh,
I'm getting ahead of myself.
I was thinking like. Usually, I go into it like I'm going to spend like the next like 2 hours playing. I don't really care what happens if I get like really good runs or not. I'm just gonna try and like keep it running. And I guess that's like kind of all I have to say about that. That's kind of how I ran with like Bloodlust 2 is kind of what I did. So I'd say like I'm gonna go for this amount of time. I don't really care what happens, but I would prefer if it would like be a good session.
So do you see yourself playing GD for another couple years?
Yeah.
Honestly? Okay. So now I have like a whiteboard. So imagine like a whiteboard and you have a timeline, right? And think about you now and think of yourself in 3 years, right? Do you want to see that 3-year mark of you completing Kyuki?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have that timeline of Kyuki is your new goal. So what I'm going to tell you is I hope to have your mind be switched today. Because if you see yourself as a GD content creator and you have put your darn hard work for like 2-3 years, I need that switch. I want to turn that switch on for you now so that you could tell yourself that you are going to be that person. I want to give you one question that helped me with not only GD, but in life. You ask yourself one question, and it's the key that actually breaks down that mental wall of yours and improves your skill. What do you think that question might be?
First thing that kind of comes to mind is like, is this enough?
Is this enough? That's a good one, because then that's a self-motivator. You know what the one question I asked myself? How do I save time? So I want to give you this example. I want you to go to Open Artificial. I want you to go to a choke point that you're always dying to from 0.
Okay, so place that I always die to.
Yeah, like it is like you get there from runs or practice and you're just clenching your butt cheeks basically and being like, I don't want to die here. I can't say it any other way except for that.
Right. It is, I think it's like, what, 20%-ish?
Oh, sick. Okay.
25.
I'm close to there, actually. Okay, that's Zobros then.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that is a choke point part.
That is a part that I very consistently find myself struggling on.
What certain click?
I found the click that really gets me.
Okay, what is it?
Disable this. So it's right at the end. It's the first yellow orb at the very end of Zobros.
First yellow orb. Okay, so it's the one where it's the upside down ship click?
Yes.
And how are you dying to it? Are you clicking too early or late?
It seems that I'm clicking it too late. Because my correct gravity ship is like hitting the bottom spike there.
Okay, I want to see you play it.
Okay, so like the whole part or just this?
You could do whatever's more comfortable to you. Like if it's the whole part or honestly, I'd say whole part because then it's more natural. Okay. So now that you have the question of how do I save time, I want you to think of that as you're practicing this or playing it.
Okay.
And every time you die to it, there. All right, stop. Did you know why you did that?
Click too early.
Yeah. There's something that I found with GD and it's awareness. So if you die to a part and you don't know and you feel that weird feeling of not confidence in the click, it means that you don't understand or you are not aware of the potential ways to die or the understanding of what's actually going on. So it is a duel, duh, but you have to kind of not dumb it down, but you have to kind of like think of it in like kind of simple terms to like kind of get it. So let me screen share to you how I see it real quick. So if I'm not confident part and I see where I die, so like here, for example, of course, you know, you clicked early, but like why? So it could be the position of the ship, but to put it simply, with your icon, it's understanding of the limitations of it. How early can I click this yellow orb? So I can say when this is more complicated that it might make more sense later on. But like when the most left part of your ship is to the right of this block, you are aligning yourself for success here. Because think about it, like if I hold my ship on this left, if I align like that, actually let me write it out to you so like it's better to explain it. So what I'm saying is you align the left part of this thing to whatever object that it is. That is called icon placement. What you're basically telling yourself is when this icon and this thing align, I'm placing my icon in this line here, essentially setting myself up for success to pass this part. What you're essentially doing is when you have a difficult part, is you're giving myself, how do I raise my percentage chance on passing a part?
Okay.
So instead of getting better at your muscle memory or, oh my God, I'm dying to it over and over again, what can I do to raise that chance? Even though if you still die there, at least it's a 45% chance instead of a 30. So you're going to find these little tricks. And the more you try and practice this, the better it is to execute these tricks or to find it. So now that you see that in that way, let me go back to my game real quick. So now that I have that thing, I'm aligning the thing with my ship and I'm doing it every time. Like I'm positioning myself for success because now I'm aware the right side of my ship is aligning with this block because right here is when I'm clicking. No, I'm sorry. There. And see, the orb is glowing when I do it because that means I can click this orb. So what I just basically did is instead of thinking I need to worry about straight flying this ship and hitting this orb at the same time, because then you're thinking two ways. All I'm thinking is just align block. And I just hold and let go. And I'm doing it every time. And then once I have that down, then I just hold. Because if you understand a part and how it works, or a certain click, you are confident and therefore not nervous. And you don't really think about it and you just do it. Instead of just saying, I need to play this part more, or I need to practice my muscle memory because my muscle memory is off. No. What would that do? Play the part more. But sometimes playing a part over and over again is not the option. Sometimes just sitting there and taking 2-4 minutes of analyzing one part and saying, why am I doing this? And then succeeding. You're then spending 5-10 minutes on understanding a part instead of 2 hours thinking your muscle memory's off when it's sometimes not even you. So I want you to try that now.
Okay. So let's try that. So immediately after, like, it falls, and then
No, it's not falling. It's aligning the right side of your nose of your ship to the right side of the block below. So you see the yellow orb and then look below at the block structure. You're basically aligning the nose of your ship, like pause and play at the same time real quick. There. Basically, you're clicking right after that. You're looking at that alignment of your ship. I can't see your mouse though. I'm sorry.
Oh, so like it's hard to
Wait, actually,
see with the mouse.
open your mega hack because you can move the windows themselves. So move that level window.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're
like I'm thinking right here.
Yes. You see that block on the right side, align that window to it. Like go perfect. A little more left.
Like this.
No, a little more. Yes, basically there, but you're basically saying when this nose and that block are parallel, I'm going to click and pretend to do a small click straight fly.
Okay.
So now your brain knows, boom, you do an input of a straight fly. You're not thinking, I need to time this right. I need to do this. You know position, click. That's 2 steps. You're not thinking multiple steps.
Okay.
So practice that for 5 attempts, and I hopefully will see. Well, that's putting pressure on you. I don't want to do that. I want to see like perfect success. Basically, it's not perfect. You're human. You can't be perfect. But we're basically minimalizing human error and raising that percentage chance. Then, when you get the hang of that alignment with your ship and block, you can start over back to the beginning of the part.
Okay. It's kind of hard for me to see.
Exactly, because like, the thing is with this technique is no one has told this. No one has explained this because all people say is play time. Like you don't think I need eye placement here because you already have learned this level. That's the one problem. What I'm going to do is when we get to Kiyuki, we're going to play the first 3% and we're going to do the same techniques here that we're doing now. Okay. So that's why you're struggling with it because you technically have learned this level in the way that you already did. But with this new style, it's different because you don't think of your eye placement or the way you think like this at all. You don't. Because people tell you when you get better is play more time or get better muscle memory. But it's not true, in my opinion.
Right.
Well, yes, playing more does give you more experience for sure. But there comes a limit to that point of improvement. Yeah, literally watching you, you're repeating yourself. You're doing the same thing. All right, now start from the beginning of the part. Okay. So now that you know how to do it, tell yourself, I know how to do it. Do it. Boom.
I mean, yeah.
Of course, that makes sense, right. But like...
Right.
Yeah, you're basically diminishing that small voice in your head saying this is a difficult click for me, and you're turning it into I know how to do this click.
Yeah.
So that alone could save you an attempt or two. And think about it. It takes you probably 20, 30 seconds to get to that point. If you raise your confidence and knowledge of one click, you're going to raise your knowledge or whatever on another. So like, let me go back to my paint real quick. If this is like your chokeable death here, and you have like a 30% chance of passing it, and you keep dying to it over and over again, you're basically spending 30 seconds of it or whatever. And let's say you have a 30% chance. That's 7 times you die there. That's what?
Right.
30 times 7. That's how many seconds you're wasting, which in turn is about 3 minutes. But if you raise it to 60, now imagine building that up into a session, a 2-hour session. You're probably dying to that point, like I'd say 40 times maybe in a 2-hour session if this is a 30% chance or more. So 40 times 30, that's a big number. That's like 10 minutes just to die at the same click.
Yeah.
So by reducing that chance, you're giving yourself more of an opportunity. So why not spend that time understanding this to raise it up? We can't get back time, so why not improve on it? That's why I gave myself the question of how do I save time? This is a great example. By simply raising your chance, you're spending less time at dying to it and you're passing it, giving yourself more of an opportunity.
Yeah.
So now that we have that in mind, what is your next difficult choke point?
I guess like the entirety of Mishy's part would be a good thing, but
Yeah, Michigan was really weird. It's because of those blue orbs and the physics of your cube. Okay, so of course with the cube, with gravity. So like you see my cube, like the faster, like when it goes down, it's like an exponential. Do you know what an exponential line is, right? What icons always have is they have something like this. Is they have like, they go flat and then they fall, they go faster. What's difficult with Michigan's part is that there's a blue orb here, right? So the difference is if you click too early, like you're gonna miss the blue one over here. And yet if you click too late, you're gonna die at the dangers down here. Instead of worrying on like the cube thing, what we're gonna do again is we're gonna do a cube placement, which simply means we're gonna take this blue orb and we're going to tell ourselves that a cube is going to be positioned at some point of it. For example, let's say like a late timing, right? And this is your icon. I'm going to to click this. I'm going to attempt and center the middle of my icon to the very right of this blue orb to click it late, or to click it sort of late. Because technically that's not the latest you can click. But you're giving yourself a placement of your icon to where you need to click to give yourself that success rate. Try thinking about that when it comes to his part. So,
okay, so what I'm seeing. So what I'm seeing is, I'll do this again.
Yeah.
So putting my icon like right in the middle of this.
Correct.
I guess kind of this ball, this little white ball. Right?
That is true. Yeah, that would help. How I thought of it is that the center of your cube was hitting the bottom right corner of the orb. Not totally bottom right, but in that general area. So you want to see something interesting that might help you with understanding stuff in general? Imagine your cube like doing something like this, right? So here's what you're doing. So essentially, I hope this works. Okay. So yeah, it covers the blue orbs, but you get the picture. So essentially you're hitting the blue orb down here, right?
Yeah.
But when you click it later with your same muscle memory, look at what happens to your line. It goes to the left. So when you click earlier, your muscle memory might still be correct, but your cube position is not. So when you click something late, you're technically off here. And if I'm correct, you could die to that. Like if I change my muscle memory, I could like go like die earlier. Yeah, like see?
You talking about like the
boom
spike down there?
Yeah. Because I'm doing it slightly differently. It's like I'm doing the same inputs of clicks, but the problem is I'm going here and my cube is going downwards to the spike. So that's a different way to think of it, is because you're doing the same click, This is what I like to call micro adjustments. Now that you're aware of the position here, if you click slightly earlier, you know, oh, I clicked earlier. That means I need to click later so I can move my line to the right. Now that's thinking way more complicated, and I don't want to cram your brain too much that it already is, and I know that. But what I'm saying is that this line here could be changed because of a micro adjustment. So this goes more complicated when you understand how a click works, is understanding the micro adjustments when you make a mistake. Because again, that is being aware of the series of clicks or the click you're doing. It's adapting. You're technically always making small adaptations to your run when you beat a level. You're never always, of course, you're never always perfect or you're identical to how you practice it because of nerves, because of stress, or any outside factors, because your mentality in this game is huge.
Definitely.
So you understanding where to click gives you a confidence boost of beating that part. And when you make a slight mistake, you're not scared because you know the adjustment you have to make, reducing stress or shock value or anything like, oh my God, I didn't expect to pass this. I thought I died. That goes away. It might be unfortunate to some because it is a cool feeling to have. But at the same time, if you're wanting to save time, you have to optimize this. Now that you have that in mind too, you can try practicing it. If you see like a image picture before you hit the part with where your cube position is, your confidence will be crazy.
Okay. So let me try like the entire part, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I honestly thought going into that it was gonna be like, I feel like it's too little time to do that mic to like fully render that micro adjustment in my brain and then actually do it. But it wasn't.
Does it snap in place in your brain?
Yeah.
Good. Because you need that snap. You need to feel that snap. Because it's more of like a feeling good. See? You're aware of it. Cube placement's key. Now that you understand where your cube is, if you know how you die, you know. It's like, oh, I died too. I clicked too early. Like, you're not mad. Your mental state isn't going to be flipped because you, quote unquote, didn't know how to do it. Now, I don't want you overthinking every single click because that's not right. But clicks that give you like a struggle, you probably should take a minute or two of understanding, why is this giving me a struggle and what can I do to improve on it? You're not going to be perfect because you're human, but at least you're giving yourself I talk to myself about it and I feel pretty okay with it. It's going to take some practice to see this different viewpoint. Because for me, it took me a while to practice it with the Golden, Charteris. I even used it with Slaughterhouse too. But it does take a while to practice it because because again, you've already learned this level. You can't learn this level and do this at this. Well, you can if it's Kyuki, but in order to basically do this, you basically have to play a new Extreme Demon. But if you want to do this to this level, you can. It's not impossible. It just might be slightly harder because you're already interrupting muscle memory. You've already basically internally downloaded in your brain. And that's hard to update that because it's your brain. You're going to go back to what you feel comfortable doing or your habits because we can't change that.
Right.
Let's do one more part with Artificial. Is there one last part?
Actually, yes. Now that I remembered it. It's at 58.
Oh, I already remember that click, I think, if I know what it is.
Yeah.
Not Galvatron, but...
Abstract.
Yeah, that's it. 58. Oh, 58? Oh, no. Okay, Abstract's part. Right.
In specific, it's like the first click, like that kind of like pyramid of spikes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So are you clicking too early or is it just not confident? Like, that's just like a simple jump.
Yeah.
No, actually, you
I've
could.
It's usually too early.
It's too early.
It's
okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, because it's the speed change with the wave, and there's no D blocks. I don't think there's a D block, is there?
I think there's like one.
No, there's not a D block. There's not.
Okay.
So there's no D block. Okay, so how do you see yourself? Is the transition difficult for you?
I'd say yes.
What is one thing that you could do to make this transition slightly easier? What is okay, how about this? Let me reword this. What is affecting this transition?
I think it's the speed change, like you mentioned. I think it's like I'm not like too used to it going into it.
It's part of it. What else could be affecting it? There's one more thing.
Um, mm, I I'm unsure.
It's the wave. Think about it. You're entering the portal earlier. When your brain thinks it's a new game mode, it says cube right immediately when you turn.
Right.
The higher your wave goes, the later your wave turns to a cube. So that reaction time between cube jump becomes cube jump.
Mhm.
Maybe try if you're wanting to practice this transition, try going a couple clicks before that, because look, you're setting yourself up with the wave to that point with the start pause.
Yeah.
Your wave is going to have a consistent transition every time, which is not realistic when you're from zero, because your wave is going to be slightly higher or below. So if you really want to practice that part, you have to practice that transition that goes before it. Because you're creating you're going to create that human error.
Yeah.
So it could be, you could do that up with the wave if that actually helps you buffer it, but then you have to position yourself every time. But that honestly could help you right there if you understand. Let me actually try that. Like if you align yourself to the slope, you could like.
It does end up being a buffer there.
It is. Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Oh my god. Wait. So I was trying this on stream legitimately yesterday. It was this exact thing.
Right.
And I couldn't get it to work every time.
Mm-hmm.
But lining myself up with the slope, like seeing that.
Yep.
Immediately like that.
So you align yourself. Yep. So you align yourself to as close as the slope as you get. So you can get really close to that slope. So go back. You could align yourself to that slope. You could get super close and you buffer it every time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving yourself a consistent way of getting to it, and you're not having
the click become a buffer.
Yeah, because you're finding yourself ways of how do I again raise that percentage chance. You can honestly go below that part too. You can go below that saw blade if you feel comfortable.
Oh yeah, true.
So you could do just 2 clicks. Yes, it's an extra input. Oh no, but I've realized lately that sometimes doing an extra input can be better. I've learned that a lot through, what did I learn that through? Slaughterhouse, I think? Bloodbath Lust? I don't remember. It was something recently. But what you're doing is, it doesn't matter how many inputs you do. If it's the inputs that lead you to success, do it. Because you just basically did it. You basically realized, wait, I can align myself to this slope and I can buffer it every time. Boom. Now you know how to do it. So when you get to it, you know what to do. Like, okay. Yeah, you just died there. You got to.
That was too like close to it.
Yeah. So now that you're aware, okay, I need to be close to it, but I can't be hugging it like that. So now you're understanding the limitations of that input, which again brings you more awareness of raising your chance to pass it. Mm-hmm. So you're not grinding a level. You're not trying to grind muscle memory. You're just finding ways to raise your percent chance to not only beat the level, but just to give yourself a higher probability. GD, it's not really like how skilled I need to be skillful to beat this level. It's being aware of a certain click in order to pass it. Yes, you need skill to beat extreme demons because they're so precise, and that does come with time. And that's the only way I say is to quote unquote play more, is you're incorporating experience to then prepare yourself to have experience ready to play these extremes. I'd say you have your experience. You have more than experience. You've done Bloodlust. You're not doing Artificial. Yeah, it's off the list. I don't care. But it's still another extreme demon that was on the list. So you're giving yourself that different viewpoint of having that percentage chance work. And just taking 2 minutes of your time to figure out a part instead of dying to it 5 to 20 times or whatever, how many you've died to it from 0. Or no, you haven't even gotten there from 0 yet. You've just probably done runs. But think about it. Let's say you didn't do that from 0 and you have 90%. You would probably have died there maybe 10, 12 times. How many? It probably took you a minute and a half to get there for that one attempt. And then think about it. If you didn't spend that time taking a minute and a half to die there 12 times, look how many opportunities you could have had if that a chance was. Like if you died there twice, you could have gotten a higher score, or you could have even beaten it. But yet here you are 2 to 3 weeks later and still playing this same stupid level. Do you see the correlation where I'm going here?
Yeah.
You not understanding the mentality aspect of it and only focusing on muscle memory instead of being aware of how to pass apart and raising your percent chance, it's not dumbing yourself down, but you're basically becoming brain rot and just saying, I'll just beat it eventually. Gambler's going to win at some point.
Yeah.
But you have to put odds to your favor and saying, I'm going to do this my way. You can listen to anyone else saying, oh, get better by playing more time or just play different extremes with different categories. I didn't care. I went to Black Blizzard. I did Blind Blizzard. I did stuff on mobile. I didn't care what people said. Did I know what I know now? Absolutely not. But if I did, I probably would have been a better player if I understood what I was doing. I actually saw a glimpse of what I'm talking about in Blind Blizzard. I just didn't incorporate it because I'm like, I'll have plenty of time to do other stuff. You're lucky is because you still have years that you want to play this game and stream this game because there is definitely a streaming motivation in you. Yeah. But to push that further, you have to push yourself and say it. Like, I need to think of this differently, or how do I save time in doing this? So, hopefully, with all this new information in your head that you're worried about how on earth am I going to retain it, let's try it with Kiyuki. I'm going to force you to play Kiyuki right now. I don't care how scared you are. We're going to do it. So, what is your high score on it, or if you do have one? 1.
I have not played this level like at all.
Okay.
The reason I say I want to is just because like it's very like I guess me.
I'm gonna be honest. I love this level.
Like, very me.
There's something with this level that is exciting, that it's thrilling, but there's just it's so difficult. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna play it too. Actually, even though I played it in 2.1, should I play in 2.1? No, I'm gonna play in 2.2 because I'm gonna be with you. All right. So I'm gonna watch you play it. Let's see. I gotta remember. Where's 3%? I'm curious. Let's see. Let's find it. I don't want to like suffer you, but I want to be realistic.
I have zero knowledge of the click pattern for it.
No, don't worry about it. I know that. I know you have nothing. That's what I'm trying to break is that scaredness of this level, and it's not. You can't be scared. Okay, 3%'s at the ball. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to get to you to that point. Hopefully in 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
So I want. Okay, that first ball input. Where do you think your ball should be? That placement.
Let's see.
I want you to click with a purpose. Every input you do from here on out with Kiyuki, I want you to find a purpose as to why it is. Because you can't sight read this. You can't throw spaghetti at a wall and see what sticks. You have to click with purpose.
Yeah. So I'm finding that this is a pretty easy input. So just like pretty much a later input. So this like just for that.
I don't see a later input. Right. Let me actually get to it. It seemed you just said it was like a late timing with the ball with the first click. Yeah, I figured it out.
What I was doing. Yeah.
Okay, I figured it out, the timing. Okay, so deco in levels, it might just be deco, but you can actually use it to your advantage of when to create an input. Or to create a timing that you know what to do. So do you see the spike with the black orb? So instead of thinking click late, because clicking late could be whenever, you just click late.
Yeah, that's true.
You're giving yourself a broad statement. Me telling you where to click is a certain statement of where you need to click. Because now that you know that, the level goes the same speed. The ball is going to have the same physics, which means you will have a 100% chance of passing that click if you hit that click at that spot. So try placing that ball now on that click. So now try it. I want you to look at that click and mentally align that ball to the center of the left side of the right block. Okay. Boom.
Yeah.
That is a hard clicking. You just did it 6 times in a row. 7. 8.
Yeah.
8 times in a row. You just saved so much time just understanding that. Like I'm saying, like it might seem dumb, but I'm telling you, that time save could be technically a day.
So much more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying like I'm going to invest 2 minutes to pay off longer with time. Now that you know that, every time you do this input, I want you to look at that input and do it.
So like what I just did.
Yeah, whatever you just did, whatever you did, I want you to forever look at that spot and align your ball to that. Now, do the next 2 clicks. And then with the black orb down there, you just have to center your ball to the center of the black orb. You're just overlaying them.
That's exactly what I saw there.
Boom. Good. I'm glad you saw that.
Yeah.
Boom. You just did basically 0.8.
Yeah.
Right there. If you ever catch yourself clicking just to click, I need to tell yourself, don't do that. It's going to feel awkward because what you're doing now is you're placing your eyes with objects and stuff that you're not used to. Because eye placement in GD is key because you're clicking the ball or your icon to where you want it to be. Or you're snapping that grid in your brain, connecting it to your eyes and waiting for your eyes and your icon to connect. So now that we've done that, I want to get you to 3%. I really do. Let's start with the cube.
So I'm looking at this little like open spot right here. Right? And then I'm kind of like clicking in the direct middle of that. So I guess also just
that is true
between this.
You can do that, but you don't need to go that deep. I just looked at the glow piece on the spike and then just aligned the bottom right of my cube to the top left of the spike. Yeah. This singular jump compared to Kyuki is pretty easy.
Yeah.
I'd say it's easier than the ball you just did and you did it. Here's what's something that's harder though. So when you click earlier in that part, it's technically harder to do. The blue orb.
Because the blue orb is going to be a little different.
Yeah. So you know what what does that tell you?
That I need to do this like a little later so I can like set myself up for this.
You're correct because the input before has an impact for the next.
Yeah.
So you have to, now that you're aware of that, you know that, oh, this part, if I click slightly earlier, that means I have to click slightly later with this ball. I mean, with the blue orb. That is
it's like the Michigan orbs from earlier.
Exactly, because there's an effect of the jump. That is big. If you understand that an input is affected by another input, you're ahead of the game. So now that you know that, you're going to get to the ball. The green orb is self-explanatory.
So, yeah, I was just going to say that seems like just a middle
of
the orb.
Nothing too complicated about it. Again, if a click is working for you, you don't need to overanalyze what we're doing. I'm just giving you examples and trying to have you see of steps at how I learn levels and stuff and how applying it the way you learn levels and making it find you. I'm giving you the tools, and then if you want to use those tools, you can. But I'm wanting to help increase that speed. Boom.
Right.
You basically did 1%. Yeah.
And there it is. Yeah.
There you go. You just did 1.5%.
Yep.
All right.
Now we're already halfway there.
Yep. And what has this been, like 5-10 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna figure out how to do this beginning. I feel like this UFO will be the most difficult.
That's kind of... This is a little too far back. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the UFO should be our top priority with this one.
Yeah. So, for this just looks like click when the UFO is like in between these spikes and it seems...
Yeah, you are correct. The middle of the UFO can be aligned with it. Now that you've probably starting to feel, now that you understand how you do the part, you're starting to feel the limitations of it. Like, you know when you click too early or late, and if you do, you know if you'll survive.
Yeah, I do. I am feeling that.
Good.
One click off again.
I haven't even gotten to that last click yet.
I did it.
You beat me, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think I can. All right. Go for it.
There you go. Do you feel weirdly confident?
Kind of, yeah. There it is.
There you go.
I just looked like most of it.
3% in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We did it under 20.
Yeah. You were going for 30, right?
I was going for 20 to 30, and we did it in 15. Now imagine doing that with your normal method. How long do you think that would have taken you?
I mean, that probably would have taken me probably close to 45 minutes, right?
45 to an hour, I'd say. Yeah, that sounds about right. You cut that in thirds. You cut that to a third. And now you can confidently do this beginning.
Yeah.
You could probably do it again.
I mean, yeah, that's
There, yeah.
it was just a
This is a
little,
top 10 and you just did the first 3% in easy.
yeah, that's yeah. I'm starting to see what you mean now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I had known this for like, I guess Bloodlust would be a good example. I feel like that would have just like been a breeze through.
Yeah. And it feels criminal now when you hear a top player or whoever saying, "To if you want to get better at the game, you just play more time."
Just play more, yeah, yeah. That's insane. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, you just not even trying and you're doing it.
yeah. Like I could probably, I'm not gonna like hold myself to it, but I could probably get like 5% in like.
You could do it right now. Do it. This is your dream level after all. Why not
Yeah.
play it for fun? Like, what's stopping you? Theoretically, GD technically is you versus the level. It's not you versus anyone else. It's you versus the level. The only thing in your way is technically yourself and your mental state. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You can easily get to 5. Actually, like it's just some. You just wait slightly on the spiders on all 3 clicks. Like it's. Okay. Let me tell you another method that you could do to learn more efficiently. I want you to go back to the spider. I want you to like think about these click patterns.
Okay.
You don't overcomplicate it. Technically, you wait basically the same time on all of those clicks. Look at the time it takes that cube is on those platforms. Like, it goes on the platform, wait, click, wait, click, wait, click.
You're right.
It's a repeatability. You don't even need to focus on any certain deco. It's just, oh, that's it.
I mean, yeah, I just did 2% of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just did the where I died in the original, or
Mhm.
on the 3% to that.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I feel confident enough to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to click there.
Yeah, that is difficult, is merging those sections in your head. And you might actually find a little difficult in doing that at first. You can fix that by just going to the previous part and then like playing them together.
I did it.
You did it!
Again, I fluked like everything fast. Somehow I fluked both the ship and the spider.
You did, you fluked it. Holy cow.
There we go.
Kiyuki, you just did, what is that? 1/20th?
Yeah.
You just did 1/20th of a top 10 in 20 minutes. 25.
That's
I hope
insane.
this is expanding your brain to how actual potential that you are as a player. That the brick
absolutely.
wall was just a mirage.
Yeah.
Because think about it. It's like you built that you built that wall yourself, and then you look at it and go, I can't pass it. When there was just literally open-ended on like 20 feet away from it. I think that's what's wrong with a lot of GD players is that they're not blinded, but there's something blocking something that just isn't there. It's just there's something missing that I feel like only the top pros know about. I think that's why Popoff, Zoink, there's some information that they have that we don't, and I feel like this is it. Because they learn stuff in incredibly fast time. Wow, they're so good players. But why? This could be a
I
why.
think this is it. I think this could genuinely be
Like,
it.
you just did 5% in a top 10 that you probably never thought you could have done in 2 years. And yet you just did it tonight.
Mhm.
It's a big difference. It really
is.
Really is.
Yeah, it's insane, really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess I could maybe try and keep going, but
That's if you want to.
like everything after here. Yeah, I was gonna say like after here, it's like
Mm-hmm.
starts kind of it gets harder and harder every time, but
So I'm going to honestly leave you off here because I think I gave you a lot of information already, but I want you to crockpot this information and take it for what you want. You could spend honestly, I could spend 1 to 2 hours of GD a day and be okay with it because of this technique. I don't have to do 8-hour grinds anymore. I don't have to. Sure, you'll do 4 or 5 hour sessions because yeah, maybe you do have more free time. You have way more free time than I do. So don't be scared to do that. I'm not saying don't
Right.
do that. You have time because of course, if you spend that time and you do it with a good mental state, you're going to be great. But if you don't, then oh well. Go at your own pace though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. That was you definitely,
I hope
like you
that
said, it definitely changed my perspective.
that's my goal because I don't want time being sucked away from you even more. I don't.
Right.
Like you've spent so much time in GD and streaming and I want to elevate that for you. I do.
Yeah.
Cuz yeah, you are spending time. So now that you have this weird motivation GD, you might just do how do I save time with YouTube and Twitch? How do I make how do I make better videos? How do I save time with that? You can easily expand this outside of GD. And that's what I like with this information is that you can also apply this within real life and improve yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do.
Definitely.
I do. So I think this
All
was a
right.
success. I think so.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind. Like I've been kind of like writing in a notepad pretty
Mm-hmm.
much throughout like the entire hour and 33 minutes
Oh
we've been at.
wow.
So, all right.
Thank you.
I will I think this absolutely will be put to good use.
If this is successful, then we'll do like a mini series of you know how funny it'd be if I coach you to Kyuki? That
That'd be
would be
so
sick.
insane.
I wonder if we could pull that off. That would be so
I think it could
funny.
work.
That would. And I could turn it to like a series. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. So
Right.
we'll meet up sometime. I want you to mess around with Kyuki. I want you to only play Kyuki for fun. I do not want you to do it. Oh, I can jump from it. With these tools, you theoretically could, but I don't want to put that pressure onto you.
Hmm.
Only play it when you're ready to. If you have that slight doubt, play a different level. Okay?
Yeah.
And again, reach out to me if you have any more questions. You got it?
Got it.
All right. Good luck. If you get
Thank you, man.
10% tonight, feel free to send me a text. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. I want to know.
I definitely will.
All right. Appreciate it, man. You have a great night.
You as well. Peace.
Bye. So it's been like 2 months and 14 days. Have you felt a skill boost in your GD skill? And do you feel like you broke down that mental wall that you had back in December?
Yes. To both of those. I think I've definitely started seeing things in like kind of a different way than like before.
So the last time, oh my God, my screen's black. I might have to yeah, there we go. So like last time we've talked, you've actually done artificial and now
Mhm.
you're on Ouroboros and in like what, 2 weeks? Right?
Roughly, yeah.
So
I want to say that's
what's your
correct.
progress now in 2 weeks?
So I have 46% and 36 to 100.
And do you think it's harder than artificial?
Yes, easily.
And you have gotten that much progress. How long did that take you to do an artificial?
Honestly, like I never even got that far of a run in artificial.
Oh wow.
I don't even think I did that. Um, and I think like even from zero, I'm going at a quicker rate than how artificial went.
So you're doing a level
I
that's
don't.
harder than artificial, and you learned it with trying to learn from the tricks and techniques that we talked about and discussed in December, and you actually feel a difference.
Yes,
Would you think that your confidence has improved over the last 2 months?
for sure. Yeah.
Thinking of this, have you attempted or played Kyuki since December 1st?
Um, Unfortunately, I didn't because I think at that point I was like really trying to like I guess focus more on artificial and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I don't really play the game like much in the first place, so artificial was mostly taking up the time.
Yeah, I can see that because you don't want to like focus on something else with it. Totally
Hmm.
understandable. Speaking of
Yeah.
Kyuki, I didn't show this in the video, but you did later on get 8% in like an hour after we left call or two.
Hmm.
which is incredible. Are you curious to learn more about more different perspectives, or at least like different tools in GD?
Yeah, for sure. I think I think the more you can do to like find ways to improve, I feel like that's a very uh good thing to have for sure.
So let's say this video becomes pretty successful. Let's say it helps people out and actually does it. Would you be interested to maybe doing like a series of it? Like we do like a part two and we talk about like another idea that I have, and that would be like eye tracking. Because I don't think I went into that topic with you because I have noticed that eye tracking plays a big role in GD.
Mhm.
Um, so if we do like a not like a series, but if I like bring you back,
Yeah, I'd love to, you know, learn about like eye tracking stuff because I look back at some of my like stream highlights where I beat levels and stuff, and it genuinely looks like my eyes are all over the place, and I just don't feel like that's a very good thing.
no, I have actually had my mom comments on my eyes when I play GD. She said, "Your eyes are all over the place."
Hmm.
So I think it's not a bad thing, actually. Even though you did artificial, would you say that your progress increased a lot more after our discussion?
I'd say yes. Yeah. I
How?
was
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was definitely much more consistent in like the following sessions after that for sure.
How many days, weeks, or months do you think you saved? Like,
Oh,
if we didn't have that conversation, where would you think you'd be right now with artificial?
I think I still would have beaten it, but I need to look at the attempt count I spent for that. Hold on.
Because I think
Let me
when
look at
we
the attempt count real
talked,
quick.
I think you were like at like 10K if I remember correct. No, 6 to 10K. I don't remember,
Yeah,
but it was
I think
around
that
that
was.
range.
Hmm. Okay, so I'm looking at it now. It took me 15.5 thousand for artificial.
Oh wow.
I feel like your initial guess of 20,000 would have been much closer if we didn't do that.
So you think you would have another 5K attempts on you if we didn't have that call?
I'd say that's a reasonable assumption. Yeah.
I can see that because like the one thing I have is yes, it makes a difference, but like the problem is it enough to like you know coach quote unquote people of how to
Right.
improve? Because again, this is a really hard thing for me, but the thing is I'm very passionate because I see it, but the problem is
Mhm.
I'm pretending to put myself in another person's shoes and being like, how would I react when like someone goes, I can coach you in Geometry Dash? Like it sounds
Yeah.
crazy, but it kind of worked for you, I believe. I
I
would
I do feel as if
100%
it
confidence.
worked.
Yeah, I would agree. I legit saw it with you when we did Kiyuki, and now you're insane at progress on Ouroboros. Again,
Mhm.
2 weeks in, and you have 2 runs. I think you did it in a bit of a week or more than a week to get 2 runs.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, no, because the 36 to 100, when I did that, that was when I hit it.
Mm.
But I already had it in like 3 runs by like in the first week.
And you even fluked, I believe, the 36 to 100, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's incredible. Well, good. I honestly feel like the information helped you, and that's all I care about because I'm not saying I'm wanting to prove it, but this is such a weird walk I'm walking. I feel like I kind of have to, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Because I'm not at like the top of the top like everyone else, but I'm like still a good player.
Right.
And it's like, well, you're not the greatest, but why do you think you have all this information? It kind of does seem weird, but I hope that people see it worked and it will work
Yeah.
for them, especially if they're mind blocked or mentally blocked at a level or um the level that they strive to go for.
Yeah.
So I think this was a success. So thank you for being a participant, and I
Yeah.
appreciate your trust in trying with me on this.
Yeah, for sure. I feel very, very lucky to have been a participant for this.
We found each other early, and now like I can see you being a better player. It's time to give you a little trampoline, I guess.
A little bump,
I
yeah.
want to, yeah, and I want to do that, and I do, because that's all I've done with my videos is just try to find like that little nugget of hope or motivation for not just GD, but really anything, honestly. And I kind of hope that the stuff that I talk about can give a different perspective on on not just GD, but anything. Heck, I've even thought of this information like, how can I improve working out, or how can I improve myself, like very easily.
Yeah,
So, well, I would love to talk more, but then this video would be more than an hour long. So
for sure.
this thank you very much, and I don't know if we'll do a part 2, but if you all really were interested in this video, thank you for watching through the full, because wow, you had a long lunch. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for watching and giving this video a chance if you did make it this far. It shows that you're open-minded to what I had to say, so I cannot be more than thankful for you doing that. And any final words or any comments, concerns, or whatever that you want to say, Fidget?
Um, let me see. I'd say, don't be afraid to take risks with the game.
100% agree.
Okay.
110% agree. Because if you don't take a risk, then what are you really striving for?
Yeah.
I think we all
If you
honestly
want
take a risk of me making this video and everyone else watching. If I'll be real.
Yeah. If you want to succeed in this game, you're going to have to take a risk.
So why not start now?